Hey everyone, and welcome to my workshop today here at the Design, Craft, and Business Summit.
My name's Lisa Baldwin, and I'm really excited for you to be part of my class today. We're going to be making a hot chocolate board, matching mugs, as well as coasters, all by Sublimation. Let's take a quick look at the two main tools we'll be using. First, we'll be using the flat heat press for the board and the coasters, and then we'll be using the sublimation oven for our enamel mug. And let's take a look at the three pieces we'll be using: an MDF 8x10 board, enamel mug, and two MDF coasters. We'll also need a few things. We'll need a paper trimmer, some tape measures, scissors, heat-resistant tape, a good sharp pick, heat-resistant gloves, heat-resistant mat, lint roller, and butcher paper. And today's projects will be using sublimation paper by A-Sub. This is the one I usually use, and we're going to be using and printing on 8.5 by 14. Now that we have all our tools, let's get our prints. Here is our hot chocolate bar print, printed on 8.5 by 14 paper. The two wraps for the 17-ounce enamel mug. And lastly, the two prints for the 4x4 coasters.
If you are not doing sublimation quite yet, you can still make this project, or at least a good portion of it, right?
So all you need to do is send it over to your regular printer and print it on heavy cardstock. This way you can make that hot chocolate bar sign without actually sublimating it onto an MDF board.
So let's get started on project number one, and that is going to be the board.
Here we have our MDF board. It is an MDF board with a yellow plastic covering on it. You want to peel that off before you get started. And then there you have your substrate that you're going to sublimate on. Now I've already printed out my hot chocolate bar print in reverse print. So once you have that all peeled off and ready to go, what you're going to need to do is get your heat resistant tape, and you're going to turn this face down onto your print. Get it lined up just right, and then you're going to put enough tape on it to keep it in place. And while we're doing this, I've got my heat press heated up to 400 degrees, and we are going to press this for 80 seconds. So we're going to put one piece of butcher paper down on the bottom of our platen. We'll then put our sublimation board face up with another piece of butcher paper on top of it. This prevents it from getting what we call a blowout. So the colors will go all over the place outside. So you always want to make sure you put one below, one above, and then make sure you don't ever reuse this, because those inks will transfer to your next projects. Now's the time to put on the heat-resistant gloves. You don't want to touch this without these. This thing has been in there at 400 degrees. Looks like we're finished. Let's check this out. When you can see your image through the paper, you know you've got a good press. And here's a good example of the blowout. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. This came out so good. I'm so excited with the way this came out. But keep in mind, this thing is hot.
Let's get started on project number two, the coasters.
Here we have two coasters, and they come with a plastic coating on top. So you want to go ahead and peel that back. And then once you get both of those ready to go, the one thing I do like about these, they have a cork backing, so they're really nice coasters. So let's get them all prepped, taped up, and ready to go. So you're going to put them face down on your print that we've printed out in reverse. And then face down, we're going to tape them up really good. And then we're going to put them on the flat heat press, just like we did with the hot chocolate bar board. We were going to press these at 400 degrees for 80 seconds, just like we did for the board. So let's take a look and see what we've got. Wow, these things are so hot. Can you see the steam? All right, there we go. There's one. And here is number 2. These look amazing. All right, there you have a full set. These look great, guys.
Okay, how cute and simple are those? On to project number 3, the mug. And this time we're going to be using the oven.
In addition to the oven, we'll need our sublimation wrap that I've already pre-cut, as well as an enamel mug and loads of heat-resistant tape. Let's get this taped up. We want to make it nice and tight. You want to get it centered to the mug and then get a really good tight wrap against your substrate. So use loads of tape. Don't be shy. You can never use enough tape when it comes to doing sublimation on round surfaces. Make sure you add tape to the bottom as well, and make sure you get a good, nice, tight seal on that as well. And once we get that all done, we're going to go ahead and just make sure it's nice and tight, and then let's move on to the next step. All right, let's get it ready for the next step, which is shrink wrap for the oven. So we've got our mug, it's all taped up and ready to go. And then we have our shrink wrap sleeve. We have our heat gun, and we don't need the heat resistant tape anymore, our heat resistant gloves, and the world's largest binder clip. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to slip the mug into the shrink wrap sleeve, just centered. Go ahead and slip on your heat resistant gloves. We're going to use the world's largest binder clip to get that around the handle. Looks good. Let's give it a try. All right, so just with sweeping motion, just go sweep it back and forth, and you will see all of a sudden that heat just takes that shrink wrap and shrinks it right to your enamel mug. And I also gave it a little extra shot of heat down where the binder clip is. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the binder clip. Looks like it's got a pretty good shrink wrap all the way around, and I'm going ahead and remove that, and then we are going to get it into the oven. The oven is 365 degrees, and it is going to go in there for 6 full minutes. No need to rotate, turn, or anything. You just go ahead and put it in there for the full 6 minutes. All right, we've got our mug in the oven, and it is going to be done in just 6 short minutes. I've got my heat resistant glove on. I've got a heat resistant mat down for when it comes out of the oven, and let's get this thing out. Woo, this thing is hot. Now, the key to getting the shrink wrap off would be to do it right as it comes out of the oven while it's still warm and a little stretchy. If you wait too long, that shrink wrap starts to harden up, and it just makes it very difficult to get off of something. So now let's go ahead and pull off the tape and pull back the wrap and check this out.
All right, everyone, we're done. We finished all 3 projects. We did the mug, we did 2 coasters, as well as the board. So you're all set. You are on the first step of getting your hot chocolate bar set up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. Don't forget, if you're not ready to sublimate, just print. Make them a printable. It's super simple, super easy, and just go and have fun.
Thank you all so very much for joining me today for the Warm and Cozy Hot Chocolate Sublimation class. I had an absolute blast crafting these cozy designs for you, and I hope you enjoyed making them as much as I did. And hey, if you want to stay inspired for more designs, freebies, and special offers, be sure to join my mailing list at my website, lisaanndesigns.com.